Hello, dear students. Welcome again for the biology lecture. We have started molecular basis of inheritance. So the inheritance or the characteristics which are transferred from one generation to the next, which are having the basic nature in a molecular level. So this molecular basis of inheritance. During this lecture, we have studied two experiments which are very basic, and those two experiments we have studied. The first one, that is the Griffith experiment, and second one, that is the Avery, McCarthy and MacLeod. These two experiments give us the idea, which has the proof that not proteins but the DNA which is present inside the nucleus, that is the factor or the principle which is known as the transforming principle. And this transforming principle, which is needed for our characteristics transformation. And this we have studied that about the mice, that is the Griffith experiment, how he injected different type of the sets with the S strain and the R strain, and he concluded that not the proteins but the DNA, those are the factors responsible for the transformation of the cat. Now, this so the next to that, the experiment after the Griffith and after the Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy, based on this again the third experiment, which is based on which is based on the third experiment, which we are going to see in detail, that is known as, let us see, so Avery, McCarthy, MacLeod experiment. After this, the next one, that experiment based on the radioactive substances which are utilized in the next experiment, where the radioisotopes those are utilized. So this was the Avery, McCarthy, MacLeod experiment, and these are the conclusions. Now the next one, that is the Hershey-Chase experiment. Hershey-Chase experiment performed by two scientists, and they utilize two radioactive substances. First is the phosphate and second is the sulfur. Now we know that phosphate or the phosphorus, it is present only in the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and not present in the protein. And the second one, that is the sulfur, where the normal sulfur is present only in the protein, not in the DNA. And here they utilize this radioactive phosphorus for the formation or for the creation of the new type of the experiment, where they utilize the bacteriophage. So this radioactive phosphorus P32 and second is the sulfur 35. These are the radioactive substances, both are utilized. What I said before, that the phosphorus which is present only in the DNA and sulfur which is present only in the protein. So these two scientists, Hershey and Chase, they grew some viruses with radioactive phosphorus. So the first set, what they utilize, phosphorus only, which can be traceable. That means because of the radioactivity, we can trace it. And these two scientists, they also trace by utilizing the different techniques. So they utilize and they grew some viruses with the medium having the phosphorus 32. That is a radioactive phosphorus, you can see. And second experiment or the second set of the experiment, they utilize the sulfur, which is having the 35 radioactive substance, that is the sulfur. And these two substances utilized for two sets, and they grew such a type of the bacteriophage. What is the bacteriophage? Bacteriophage, those are known as the viruses which infect to the bacteria. They only infect not animals or the plants, but only bacteria. Hence, they are known as the bacteriophage. So, bacteriophage, those are the two sets they utilize, that is of having the two types of the radioactive substances. So, the first one, here it is a B, suppose B set, where this is a virus and it has such a type of the structure. So, outer structure, that is the protein coat, always protein and lipid. We must know about this because of the COVID-19, that is the coronavirus. Now, such a type of the virus, the outer body or covering, where they grew such a type of the virus with the medium having sulfur radioactive, that is the S35, sulfur labeled protein capsule. And inside, that is the DNA present, and that DNA is normal. Okay, because this DNA that do not consist of, as we know, do not consist of the sulfur, but only the phosphate or phosphorus, but not sulfur. While in this another set, you can see here, vice versa to that of the B set. That means the outer coating that is having sulfur, but it is a normal. So it is a normal sulfur. But inside that, you can see here a red color DNA, which is a radioactive substance, that is the phosphate or the phosphorus labeled DNA. So in this way, these two type of the bacteriophages which are utilized for this experiment, B and A. Now, what is the next? They allowed to infect these two types of the bacteriophage, that is the viruses, and they allowed to infect bacteria, especially the E. coli, that is the Escherichia coli, and they obtain the result. Let us see one by one. So here in a A set, what happened? This, as we know, the DNA is labeled, that is the phosphorus P is 35, and they allowed to infect this such a type of the cell of bacterium. And as the DNA that enters penetrate here and enters inside the host cell, that is the E. coli cell, and infection that was allowed. While in the next, what happened? This cover that is now useless, but only the DNA, what is present inside, now goes into the host cell, that is E. coli. And in the third, you can say this after the breaking of this cell by using centrifugation, they detect out the phosphorus from the E. coli cell or the host bacterium, and they detected the supernatant, and they found that only the material that is infected inside the host cell E. coli, that is nothing but here there's a DNA which was labeled as a phosphorus labeled DNA. While in the second set, what happened? Vice versa to that, the outer covering is radioactive labeled, you can say, and inner DNA is normal one. Same process they allowed. They allowed to infect this E. coli bacteria cell, and they found that the body which remain outside, but the inside, the DNA that penetrates, and after the same, by taking the same technique, that is the centrifugation, you can see here the DNA are there, and DNA, they are very normal type. So no sulfur detected in the cells, and we can see that after obtaining the supernatant, the sulfur, no sulfur were there inside the E. coli. So in this way, this experiment proves that which having the now solid evidence that using the labeled type of the sulfur and labeled type of the DNA, that is a phosphate. And this infection, normally we know that it is because of the DNA and not by the outer proteinaceous material. So by this experiment, these two scientists, Hershey and Chase, they concluded that such a type of the infection takes place only because of the DNA and not by the protein. And hence, the genetic information material, that is not a protein, but it is, of course, only the DNA. And it is proved with the solid evidence by utilizing the radioactive isotope. Now, we can see here the conclusion of Hershey's experiment, where the radioactive charges were allowed to infect E. coli, that is Escherichia coli on the medium, and which those allowed with the normal PNS, and this indicates that is the protein did not enter from the viruses but only the DNA, and hence DNA acts as a genetic material. And we have the proof, solid proof that only radioactive phosphorus was found inside the bacteria cell. So the Hershey's experiment is uh, more accurate, we can say, than rather than the comparatively before two experiments, that is the Avery, MacLeod, and McCarthy, as well as the Griffith experiment. But that those two experiments were the pioneer, which gives or that having the foundation on the base where the Hershey Chase experiment carried on. So in this way, this is all about Hershey Chase experiment, and these three experiments are we have in our syllabus and maybe asked many times, and it may be for the 3 marks, of course, because this is the experiment which having the different steps, and we must conclude with this conclusion that having the marks. So this is all about the three experiments we have so far that concern. Now let us study more in detail as our chapter is with having the name, that is the molecular basis of the inheritance. Now, as it is finalized that the DNA is the genetic material, not proteins and other like the RNA or the other material which is present in the slide of the cell. Now, this DNA related with this, we are going to see in detail. The first one, that is the DNA packaging. Now, this DNA, if we calculate mammalian DNA, that is the animals and all these things which are included in the phylum Mammalia. So inside this cell, per cell, in the nucleus, it is present. And by taking the calculation, that is multiplying the total base pairs with the distance between two consecutive base pair, we can count that the total number or the length of the DNA, and it goes normally about 2.2 meters. Meters. This is calculation based on this what I told, that is the total base pair multiplied with the distance between the consecutive base pairs. And size of the nucleus. Now see here, length of DNA is 2.2 meter, but the size of nucleus is 10 raised to minus 6 meter. Means it is so small, and how it can accommodate. That means this nucleus, it having this such a type of the small size, microscopic or you can say ultra microscopic size, even though 10 raised to minus 6 meter, how it can accommodate this DNA, which having the length about 2.2 meters. Now, this DNA packaging, that is different in the prokaryotes as well as in the eukaryotes. So this is because of the condensation of this DNA. It may be condensed. That means it become thick. Then it coiled and supercoiled. We know the example, that is the telephone wire. Of course, it is a landline telephone wire. If you see that the coiling, because of the coiling, the length of that wire that accommodate in the small space, and hence it require very small space in short. So it is because of the condensation, coiling and supercoiling, and they all DNA they are fit inside to very small size nucleus, that 10 raised to minus 6. So let us see the packaging in prokaryotes as well as packaging in eukaryotes. Okay, so the cell size of prokaryote is 2 to 3 micron long. Now this micron is very less type of the unit, and we know that prokaryotes means where the cell which is a prokaryotic cell. Why? Because it is very primitive type of nucleus, as well as this cell consists of the membrane bounded organelles are totally absent. So membrane bounded organelles, those are totally absent in the prokaryotes. So the nucleus, of course, it doesn't have any type of the membrane, that is the nuclear membrane is absent. Second thing is the nucleolus is also absent, and only some coiled or circular structure is present which represent the DNA, and the it is called as a nucleoid. So this nucleoid, instead of the nucleus, nucleoid which having about 1100 micron DNA long size. So this DNA which further folding and looping is occur inside. So this nucleoid is very small. We can see here, this is very small, circular, it is circular, and because of the folding or circular nature, the size decreases, reduced to the 350 micron. Okay, then this circular, but it is unfolded. Remember, this is unfolded chromosome, we can say. And further, there is a condensation as well as the folding. They form the loops. You can see here the loops. So the structure goes from 350 micron to 30 micron, and it is because of some RNA. Those help for this making of the folding, and this structure, because of this so much loops are there, it goes reduced to 30 micron. And further supercoiling is there. In the next figure you can see that this there is a further coiling and supercoiling, and condensation takes place. This total structure reduced to 2 micron. So see here, from 1100 micron to 2 micron, so that it can accommodate in very small size nucleus. But here it is not nucleus, it is the nuclide. So it is an exposed type without any nuclear membrane. So such a type of the structure is there. And here, this we can see here such a type of the looping and overlooping, that is a coiling and supercoiling, that goes the accommodation very easily. So the very small size nuclear type of the structure present in prokaryote, we can see that because of this condensation, coiling and supercoiling, this large length type of the DNA can accommodate in very small space. So in this way, this packaging in prokaryotes is possible. Now let us discuss about the next one, that is the packaging of eukaryotes. Now packaging of eukaryotes here, DNA, so the name indicates eukaryotes means cell size is big one, as well as nucleus is there which is membrane bounded, as well as many all organelles, they are also having membrane bounded organelles like the Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum and so on. So eukaryotes, it indicates the true karyon, that is the nucleus. So true nucleus type. And here also we have studied before what I told that about having 10 raised to minus 6 size of the meter of the cell, and the accommodation of large 2.2 meter DNA, how it is possible. So accommodation is because of again the same type, that is having the coiling, supercoiling and condensation. So let us see. So here the DNA is associated with histone and non-histone proteins in the eukaryotes. So histones are not present in the prokaryotes, but here in the eukaryotes they are present. And it is first reported by R. Kornberg in 1974. So these histones, which are what I told, that histones, which are proteins, they are always rich in two types of the amino acids, that is the lysine and arginine. These two are the basic amino acids, and these are always having a positive charge. While the histone organize, that is the unit of 8 molecules. You can see here 8 molecules. Because of 8 molecules, it is called as the histone octamer. Histone octamer is made up of such a type of the combination of the histone. So H2B, all the time they are in a pair. That means 2H2B, then 2H2A, then H3 and H4 all are in a pair. And because of this pairing, they are having the 8 total histones. And all these histones are bounded with this DNA, and it is totally bounded with this H1 histone, which remain outside of this octamer. So total, all this structure, it is called as the histone octamer, and this is called as a nucleosome. So such a type of the nucleosomes are present, which are having the octamer structure, and they are having about one nucleosome, that is called as contain 200 base pairs. So in this way, this total nucleosome, many nucleosome, they arrange one by one, just like the beads on string, and they coiled to form the structure. Of course, there are about 6 nucleosomes. They are come together to form the solenoid. And this is because of the coiling. Beads on string, coiling, and the solenoid. So 6 nucleosomes totally gather to form the solenoid. The solenoid further again coil, which is called a supercoiling, to form the chromatin fiber. And this chromatin fiber afterwards again supercoiling, and the result of condensation form the structure of the chromosome. So in this way, the chromosome structure is there. Chromosome structure is there, and we can see in the next slide, that is the structure of the chromosome. But the packaging of eukaryotes is in this way. Packaging of this eukaryote type of the cell having this DNA packaging, which can accommodate in the small size of the nucleus. So these chromosomes we can see, that means this chromosome structure can be seen when the cell is in the dividing stage. It may be of the starting from the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. So all these are the 4 phases are there, where we can see the chromosomes, even though we can count the number of the chromosomes in particular type of the cell, when even we can observe under the compound microscope. So in this way, the packaging of the eukaryotes is very interesting, that the structure of the octamer is there, and the large number of the DNA can be accommodated in the very small size nucleus, that is 10 raised to minus 6. So in this way, we can see here the packaging of the eukaryotes, what I told before. This is the nucleosome, this is the linker DNA, and all this is the beads on string. And we can see here the 6, they come together to form the uh, here the nucleosome to the solenoid. So here solenoid forms are there, the 6 one we can see here in the detail, and this accommodation, that further condensation takes place. See here the measurement, and uh, length and breadth, as well as here is the accommodation into 300 angstrom. So this type of the structure, which is called as the solenoid, and this solenoid, they are present in the chromosomes. So this we can observe here. The first, this is the chromosome, this is the part, and this portion by which the solenoid coil can be observed in the next slide. That is the further condensation takes place, and there are loops are present, and these loops that denotes us the portion or the segment of DNA. And the further one, it also shows here the beads of the string. So this nucleosome coiled into chromatin fiber. So this is all the because of the coiling and supercoiling, and the last, that is the basic structure of the chromosome. So in this way, this total structure of can be seen in this manner. So non-histone chromosomal potential will study further to the next lecture. But for the timing, you must remember that this is all about the packaging of the eukaryotes as well as the prokaryotes. So there may be question in the exam that you have to describe how this accommodation, give the numbers or the this size, how the uh, solenoid or the beads are on the string, how they are accommodated in the small portion. So this is the DNA. You can see here this portion that is enlarged here, and this portion is enlarged here, and the chromosome, the structure which we can see under the microscope, compound microscope during the cell division, uh, and this structure that goes to the further condensation. So all these are the different structures which gives the genetic information, and this DNA which are responsible for the uh, transformation of the characters from first generation to the next generation. So in this way, we have studied today all these things. Let us see in detail more about the DNA, that is the structure of the DNA as well as the replication of DNA, that is the property, how it acts, replicates, and forms in the alternate manner, how the DNA that works, that is the protein synthesis and all these things. We will study all details further. But now for the timing, now let us stop here to uh, this point. We will study the next one, that is about the non-histone chromosomal protein, to the next lecture. So let us stop here, and